Welcome to Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. Make your foot the foot that counts. In the realm of rights, let it be known. Humanity's fabric, diversity sown. The struggle persists, an ongoing quest. For self-determination, the second demand. History demands a constant stand. The journey of Black history in America is a continuous one, marked by a complex and often painful narrative. It encompasses a trajectory from centuries of suffering, oppression, and disenfranchisement to the struggles for equality, identity, and justice. Throughout this arduous path, the issues faced by Black America have become deeply intertwined with the fabric of American society. The challenges and injustices that Black individuals and communities have endured have become inseparable from the broader issues plaguing the nation. The erasure of ancestral roots and the attempt to suppress the cultural and historical identity of Native and African people is a profound injustice that words alone cannot adequately convey in the amalgamation of both. The Atlantic slave trade, which forcibly merged diverse African nations into a dehumanizing system of chattel slavery, left an indelible mark on the collective history of Black people, a mark that is still felt today. In response to this legacy of oppression, a renaissance of Black literature emerged, spreading its influence across America, Europe, and Africa. This literary movement sought to reclaim and celebrate the rich heritage, culture, and contributions of Black individuals and communities. Scholars like Sheikh Anta Diop, Walter Rodney, Ivan van Sertima, Dr. Joseph Alfredo Antonio Ben-Jachanan, Dr. AmosWilson, and Dr. Bobby Wright played pivotal roles in this intellectual resurgence. Their works represented the tip of the iceberg in the realm of Black pride intellectualism. They endeavored to reshape the prevailing narrative, challenging the dehumanizing stereotypes and prejudices that had been perpetuated for centuries. These scholars aimed to restore the dignity and humanity of Black people, who had long been unjustly labeled as barbaric and stripped of their lands, culture, and even their very identity, often reduced to the derogatory term nigger. Black history in America is a profound and multifaceted tale of resilience, struggle, and triumph. It underscores the enduring quest for justice, equality, and recognition, not only in the United States but across the global African diaspora. The journey continues, as the legacy of Black history remains an integral part of the ongoing pursuit of a more just and equitable world. MarcusGarvey, 1887–1940, was a Jamaican-born Black nationalist leader, advocate for Pan-Africanism, and the founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA. He is celebrated for his pivotal role in the early 20th century global movement to uplift and unite people of African descent. Garvey's vision centered on promoting the pride, self-reliance, and self-determination of Black people worldwide. He believed in the importance of African unity and the repatriation of Black people to Africa, specifically through his Back to Africa movement. His message resonated with millions across the African diaspora. Some of MarcusGarvey's notable works and writings include The Philosophy and Opinions of MarcusGarvey. This collection of essays and speeches outlines Garvey's vision for the empowerment and liberation of Black people, emphasizing self-respect, racial pride, and economic self-sufficiency. Declaration of the Rights of the Negro Peoples of the World, a historic document adopted at the first UNIA Convention in 1920, it laid out the fundamental rights and aspirations of African people globally. Africa for the Africans at home and abroad, a rallying cry and slogan associated with Garvey's Pan-African movement, highlighting the call for repatriation and the importance of African sovereignty. MarcusGarvey's impact extended beyond literature. He established the Black Star Line, a shipping company aimed at facilitating the transportation of black people to Africa, and created chapters throughout America and the diaspora, while hosting large-scale parades, conventions, and gatherings to inspire and unite black communities. His emphasis on self-pride, self-sufficiency, and unity left an enduring mark on the Pan-African and human rights movements. MarcusGarvey remains an iconic figure in the history of the roads to human rights in the diaspora of the world that had to face Black power is a fight for human rights. El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X. Born Malcolm Little on May 19, 1925, and assassinated on February 21, 1965, was a prominent African American civil rights leader, minister, and human rights activist. He is widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in the history of the human rights movement in the United States. Malcolm X's life and legacy are characterized by his transformative life. From criminal activities to a devout member of the Nation of Islam, NOI, where he became a charismatic and vocal spokesperson. His speeches, including the famous "The Ballot or the Bullet," urged African Americans to demand their rights and highlighted the need for self-defense against racial violence. Malcolm X's philosophy evolved over time, and he eventually left the Nation of Islam to embrace Sunni Islam and a more inclusive and internationalist approach to human rights. He founded the Organization of Afro-American Unity, OAU, to promote unity and self-determination among African Americans. His autobiography, The Autobiography of Malcolm X, written with the assistance of Alex Haley, is considered one of the most important and influential autobiographies ever written. It continues to be widely read and studied, providing insight into his life, experiences, and evolving beliefs. In addition to his contributions within the United States, Malcolm X also had a significant impact on the global stage. He traveled to Africa and the Middle East, where he met with various leaders and activists, including Gamal Abdel Nasser and Kwame Nkrumah, and advocated for the rights of African and African diaspora communities worldwide. Regarding his assassination, there have been numerous investigative books and documentaries that have explored this topic, shedding light on the complexities and controversies surrounding his death. Some of these books include The Dead Are Arising by Les Payne, The Judas Factor, The Plot to Kill Malcolm X by Carl Evans, and Conspiracies, Unraveling the Assassination of Malcolm X by Baba Zach A. Kondo. Malcolm X's advocacy for Black empowerment, self-defense, and his unwavering commitment to human rights made him a polarizing and influential figure. His contributions to the struggle for racial equality continue to inspire generations of activists and thinkers worldwide, and his legacy remains a powerful force for social justice. Cheikh Anta Diop, 1923 to 1986, was a renowned Senegalese historian, physicist, and anthropologist whose life's work centered on reshaping the narrative of African history and culture. He faced numerous challenges, both within academia and the broader intellectual landscape, while tirelessly advocating for the recognition of Africa's significant contributions to world civilization. Diop's pioneering research delved into subjects like African archaeology, linguistics, and anthropology, challenging the Eurocentric views that had long dominated historical discourse. One of his seminal works, The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality, published in 1974, presented compelling evidence supporting the theory that African civilizations were among the earliest and most influential in human history. Despite the groundbreaking nature of his research, Cheikh Anta Diop faced considerable resistance and skepticism from mainstream academia. The Eurocentric bias that pervaded the academic world often marginalized his work, making it a formidable challenge for him to gain acceptance and recognition for his contributions. Diop's academic journey was also marked by his dedication to establishing the radiocarbon laboratory at the University of Dakar, which allowed for the precise dating of archaeological artifacts. This laboratory was crucial in providing empirical evidence to support his claims about African civilization's antiquity and significance. Throughout his career, Cheikh Anta Diop remained steadfast in his pursuit of knowledge and the assertion of Africa's rightful place in the annals of history. His unwavering commitment to reshaping the understanding of African history and culture inspired subsequent generations of scholars and continues to influence African and Afrocentric studies today. His work remains a testament to the power of persistence in the face of academic challenges and the enduring importance of redefining historical narratives. Dr. Bobby E. Wright, 1934–1982, was a prominent African-American psychologist, writer, and activist. Founding member of the Bobby E. Wright Comprehensive Behavioral Health Center Incorporated in Chicago. Known for his significant contributions to the fields of clinical psychology and African American mental health, his work primarily focused on the psychological effects of racism, white supremacy, and the social conditions faced by African Americans in the United States. Dr. Wright's groundbreaking essay The Psychopathic Racial Personality, published in 1974, explored the idea that the systemic racism experienced by African Americans could lead to a psychological condition characterized by a lack of empathy and a sense of white superiority embedded within society. This essay has had a lasting impact on discussions of race and psychology. He was also a strong advocate for Black liberation and self-determination, emphasizing the importance of African Americans embracing their cultural heritage and working towards collective empowerment. Dr. Wright's work challenged mainstream psychological paradigms and called for the development of culturally relevant approaches to mental health and therapy. Dr. Bobby E. Wright's legacy continues to influence the fields of psychology, African American studies, and social activism, and his writings remain important resources for those interested in understanding the psychological impact of racism and the struggle for Black liberation. Dr. AmosWilson, 1941–1995, was a prominent African American psychologist, founder and publisher of African World Info Systems, educator, and author known for his influential work in the fields of psychology, education, and social commentary. Dr. Wilson authored several thought-provoking books and delivered numerous impassioned lectures on a range of subjects, including race relations, psychology, economics, and social issues. Easily found on YouTube. He was a staunch advocate for the empowerment and liberation of Black individuals and communities. Some of Dr. AmosWilson's notable books and works include The Developmental Psychology of the Black Child, an exploration of the psychological development of Black children and the impact of racism on their growth, Awakening the Natural Genius of Black Children, a book that discusses the educational challenges faced by Black children in America and proposes strategies for nurturing their potential. Blueprint for Black Power, a moral, political, and economic imperative for the 21st century. A comprehensive analysis of Black economic and political empowerment in the context of global systems. The falsification of African consciousness, Eurocentric history, psychiatry, and the politics of white supremacy. An examination of how Eurocentric narratives have shaped the perceptions of African history and consciousness. Though primarily recognized for his contributions to psychology and social analysis, his writings and speeches have significantly impacted Black thought and enriched our understanding of the African American experience. Dr. AmosWilson's dedication to advancing the causes of racial justice, self-empowerment, and liberation remains a lasting legacy. In the depths of darkness, soul's resilience shines. Through trials and tribulations, it forever defines. Though hindered and tested, it cannot be destroyed. A beacon of hope, in the toughest storm, enjoyed. With unwavering strength, it will always prevail. In the face of adversity, it will ever set sail. Much appreciation to you for giving of your time with us at Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. We trust you will come back soon.